Hi guys, my name is Sheena. I am happy to be here to do the slide through, the takeover today. I'm very happy and I want to say thanks to Marlon for allowing us to come and use his platform to discuss some issues that are important to us. Once again, my name is Sheena and
Hi, my name is Melissa.
Hi, and I'm G.
my name is Sheena. I'm an account executive.
I'm Melissa. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist. You can refer to me as Dr. Mel if you wish.
We wish.
Dr.
We wish.
Mel. And once again, my name is G, and I work in healthcare IT.
So today we're going to talk about boundaries, especially in relation to what are you waiting for when it comes to women who are over 30s, in their early 30s, that don't have children, and how society feels like, one, they can be super invasive with the questions asked, and just kind of navigating those spaces, whether it's family, friends, social media. Yeah.
I mean, sometimes we make assumptions that everybody's on the same page and we're all trying to do the same things, but not everybody's in the same place in life. So we're just trying to shed some light on how you can approach someone and what we found as professionals and as women that, rubs us the wrong way. Like, mind your business. What are you waiting for? No, don't ask me that.
Exactly. And being women over 30, we're going to start with the closest to us, our families and friends. They're the ones who kind of ask us those inappropriate questions, starting with, when you're going to have a baby, or what are you waiting for? And the struggle that I have is I have to be respectful because those questions are coming from my mom mainly, and you have to respect them. So you have to find a way to turn them down easy and not be rude. But even though the question is hurtful,
don't get cut out of your will, guys. I'm just saying.
But what would you guys say is one of the biggest challenge when it is coming from a person that's close to you? And because we're all from Caribbean background, we know that anything that you say to anybody older than you in a Caribbean household is considered disrespect if you don't give them or say what they want to hear. So like for me, I know that my mother has tried her best to not be pressuring, to not say, when am I going to have a grandchild and stuff like that. But I know that she comes off in a way where she thinks it's subtle, but it's not. But I will get it from my aunts directly. So when you gonna breed? When you gonna breed? And it's always like this awkward thing of like, whenever, I'm not there yet, it'll happen or whatever. So how do you guys like navigate those situations?
Well, what kills me is that it comes out of nowhere. Like from you're born until you're about 25, 30, it's no man, no sex, don't even look or say the word penis. And then all of a sudden it's when you're having kids. Well, wait, when did the transition happen?
Yeah.
So then when the question hits me, it's like, yo, I'm sorry. Last I checked, I wasn't allowed to talk to anybody until I had my degree. I have 4 of them now.
Ooh, hey.
How was I supposed to do that? Oh, now I'm supposed to just magically know? Oh, so it's hard to navigate that. So when they ask you, it's just kind of like, more salad, anyone? Anybody want anything else?
I agree. I was blindsided by that question too in my late 20s, and when you cross over into 30s, they ask that question more. And I agree with you. When growing up, it was book. Right? Pressure your book, don't talk to a man, and then all of a sudden, when are you going to have a baby?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, to me, I think I have to put myself in my mom's shoe, because she had me late.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if she had any issues or difficulties getting pregnant, and she doesn't want me to go down that road too. So why I'm remaining respectful is because maybe she's coming from an avenue that I don't know. She doesn't want me to get up in that age range where it becomes difficult to have children. So that's why I am respectful, and I do hear what she says, but it is difficult. It comes up mid-sentence, like you say. We're talking about, what I'm cooking. I'm cooking ackee and dumpling. And when are you going to have a baby? It's random. She just throws it in there. And, when are you going to have a family to cook for? So she just slides it in there, and I don't appreciate it. But it's my mom, so I have to just sit down and take it.
So then, see, is there levels between answering mom and answering, I don't know, the second auntie twice removed who clearly, like...
I am more calm with my mom, but if someone else asks me, I let them have it. I'm like, that's invasive.
But how do you let them have it? Like, what is your response to somebody that says that? Like, what's your definition of letting them have it? Like, mind your effing business. Like,
No, not
how
straight
aggressive
up.
can you be?
I would say, seriously, there are other things we can talk about. Like, I would prefer you to prioritize, when you're going to start that business, when you're going to get that house, when you're going to get that second degree, third degree. But I would just try to navigate and change the topic and just say, I think it would be better if we just spoke about whatever, because I don't want to talk about this.
I feel like once you have family and then you have strangers, like I'll say, I think one of the most jarring experiences for me was I was at one of my girlfriend's baby shower. Like, this is a celebration of her and her baby, and I'm just there minding my black business. And this young man with his new baby and his girlfriend, mind you, his girlfriend, right? Like, marry her first, like, mind your own business. Comes to me. This is not my friend. This is a friend of a friend. Comes to me in this girl's house and be like, so Sheena, when you gonna have your baby? Like it's nothing, like it's how's the weather. You don't know me personally. You don't know my life. You don't know my situation.
You don't know
what makes you think it's okay to be in my uterus to find out when I'm going to have a child at somebody else's baby shower.
Right.
And I was at my friend's house, so I didn't want to be completely disrespectful because it's not somebody I needed to be. I could have tell him to go, check off.
Why didn't you?
In places. Because I was at my friend's house, inside her home.
You better not me.
At her baby shower. So, and it's always at these inappropriate places. It's always at these places where you feel like you're backed into a situation where it would look kind of crazy if you tell somebody off. I'm standing at her baby shower telling this, her guest off, right?
Right.
So I said to him in the nicest way, I was like, that's a really inappropriate question. And you should not do that. I said, don't ask women those questions. It's not your business. And yeah, just mind it. Just mind your business.
I think there's a time and a place for everything. And at somebody else's baby shower, let's celebrate them.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate the people whose name was on the invitation.
Yeah.
Don't ask me about me. Furthermore, I just came for the food and I'm out. I don't have time for this.
And that's a trigger question too, because they're asking you when you're going to have a baby. They don't know your personal struggles. You could probably either had a miscarriage, or you're trying and it hasn't happened yet, or there's so many things behind that. And from their perspective, it might be innocent because it's, for women over 30, it's kind of like a, hi, hello, when are you going to have a baby? It's like the next question. So they just need to think about that, because those are trigger questions.
Right.
And from men, I feel like men definitely are, I'm really disgusted when it comes from men, because men have the advantage of like breeding somebody when they're 60.
Right.
They have the advantage of never worrying about time and the stress of like, oh, you hit 30 and there goes 70% of my eggs.
Mm-hmm.
When you turn 30 as a woman, the eggs that you're born with is the eggs that you have till you hit menopause. There is no replenishing them. Right. Whereas men just shoot off, 10,000 new sperms.
Must be nice.
10,000 new sperms just come out of nowhere, right? So men have that luxury to more like 10 million, really, every time.
Who knows? We'll get the science later.
But it's a lot. It's a lot of sperms that they have. They keep replenishing it. So men have that luxury of never having to feel that pressure of like, when I need to, because I'm losing, my eggs are being scrambled in me as we speak.
Right.
So I feel like men especially need to be very, very mindful of approaching women with those questions.
And then from the science perspective of everything, it's one thing talking to your family and talking to your friends, like, all right, you can ask the question if I choose to answer or not, or just simply walk away from you and ignoring you. If I go to the doctor and now you're a professional, I'm going to my gynecologist and I'm telling you, like, mind you, set the stage. I'm sitting on this table with this gown drawn over me and my feet are in the stirrups.
Pum out.
Right, skin out. And you're asking me so. Think you have some kids anytime soon? Yo, yeah. Really? Like, I get it. From the science perspective, you're concerned about the number of eggs I have. You're concerned about what my goals were and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, you're not taking into account my values. You're not taking into account what goals I had in the first place. So you knew me for all of 15 minutes with my legs like just wide open and come ask me, so when are you gonna have some kids? Wait a minute, doc, chill. Like, it's even more in that setting. It's awkward. Like, how do you answer that question to your professionals?
I mean, that happened to me at my OBGYN too. He asked me, so when are you going to have some effing kids? And I was like, well, I have to get married first. He's like, okay, yeah, I guess. But if you don't have kids, I don't make money. So I was like, okay, doctor. All right.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the whole, I have to get married first. as opposed to
not everyone has to. Not
Right.
everyone shares that.
Right. Let's talk about I have to get married first as opposed to like I want to have a baby. It's at what age do you feel like women get to the point where, you know what? Like, just give me this sperm, give me this baby. I don't care if there's a man attached to it.
Right.
Because I've met women like that. I've met women that are in their early 40s and at this point in time, they may be single and their sole purpose is to have a baby. You know? There's women out there who are doing in vitro on their own. No baby father. Just like their desire to have a child far outweighs the white picket fence, nuclear family situation. So what do you guys think, goes into that? Like,
I mean, for me, I'm one of those women that I aspire to have a child with a man. And quite frankly, if that's not the scenario, not to say that it's a bad thing if it's not, but for me, then having a baby is not necessarily on my radar unless that's the scenario, that's the environment. Because trust me, I understand. I've observed other people who have their kids. It's a two-man operation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a family operation at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So all these people that's asking, when you're going to have kids, I hope you're signing up to be a babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're signing up to take care of these kids when I'm out in this world traveling, doing whatever. But I think for me, it would be a much better experience to have it with someone that I feel supported by, that I know when I'm dead tired, I can tag out and I know you're there to do it for, and I don't have to kind of like call you to reach for you or anything like that. So for me, that's the value that comes with it. It's just knowing that automatically I have somebody in partnership with me that's going to do it and help us raise this kid to the best of our ability. But that's just me though.
Same for me. I want a family established first. If it's not marriage, a committed long-term relationship where we both agree this we're in it to win it, we want a baby. And I wanted to go back to the question, when people ask you the questions when you're going to have a baby, you don't know my vision, my plan, my timeline. And you're adding insult to injury because I know my clock is ticking. I know this. Like, I already know this. And by you, a stranger, an outsider asking me, it adds to the pressure. It makes me miserable. And that's why that's an inappropriate question.
For me, I don't like, having a man is okay. It's whatever. You know, I can take it or leave it. I can take it or leave it. Men have their use, and I think it would be great if you have.
That's for the part 2 slide through.
Yeah,
right.
Men, we'll talk about the uses of men on the other slide through their face area. But anyways,
Wow.
Yo.
But I, like if I feel like at some point in time, if you're somebody that wants to have a child, and that's what's most important to you, then, and especially if you're in a position as a woman to be able to take care of that child financially, emotionally, physically, mentally, then I don't know if, for me personally, I don't have to have that nuclear family, white picket fence, like situation.
Have you always thought that way?
No. I don't think so. I think, but I might add, I didn't think I wanted kids until I turned like about 30.
Oh, wow.
Like prior to that, I was like, children, ew, no, never. Like seriously, I was like a burden. Like, how am I gonna go anywhere? How am I gonna travel and see the world? Like, children was the last thing on my mind, and then boom, like when people tell you that a biological clock is a real thing, it is. Like 30 hit, I was like, something's amiss. Something felt like I'm not. It's true. Like, I don't think this happens for all women. I can't speak for all women, but for me, I know I was like, maybe I could have a baby. It kind of,
are you
my priorities started. And I think for me also what happened too was once I achieved my goals, it's almost like, all right, I felt comfortable. I was in my career, I had my home, I was well traveled, I was financially stable. I was like, maybe, at that point in time, I felt like a child. I felt more comfortable.
Right.
I don't think maybe it wasn't just so I hit 30, but it was also that I went through a lot of my other life milestones.
So let's talk about the milestones and the goals. Do you find that you got the baby question after you reached those milestones? Mostly?
That's a good question.
I was getting it in the middle of these milestones of trying to get them. Like, when again, in pursuing a PhD, in the middle of that, you don't find too many people that are doing that or have done it. There's only 3% of Black women, Black people that have gotten one. So you don't find too many. So in the midst of, I'm trying to figure out what my topic's going to be or where I'm going to find people to interview, I'm being asked, so you didn't want to just go have some babies? You're just going to be in school forever? Like, wait, I'm sorry, time out. That's not what my mind is on right now. So having to communicate that in the middle of trying to reach my goal, that was tough. I'm not even going to lie to you. That was a hard pill to swallow. Like, this is what's important to me right now. Not that.
For me, the question came at the end. They're like, okay, you're a homeowner, you got your master's, so when are you going to have a baby? And that was in a work setting.
Yeah.
So I thought that was highly inappropriate. That was in a work thing. Like, okay, you're done with school now. Now you can have your baby. And I'm like, no, we're coworkers. This is not.
Yeah, you're not my friend. You're not my girlfriend. You don't get to like have this conversation with me.
Right. And in trying to establish those boundaries with these people of, hey, this isn't a subject I'm comfortable talking with you about. Like, I try to express to my clients, don't feel obligated in any way to express information to anybody you don't feel comfortable with. And it can feel awkward. It can feel weird. It can feel like, oh no, they're going to be mad. But no, it's your truth. And I've had to learn how to do that myself, because if you don't, they'll continue. And meanwhile, you're the one carrying all that. You're the one carrying all the disappointment within yourself. Like, why can't I meet this? Or why don't I have this yet? Well, remember, that's not what you set out for, right?
Do you think women sacrifice, like, especially career-driven women, successful women, do you think there's a sacrifice there that is made? Like, it's almost like you sacrifice the child or the family or the relationship to get to these personal milestones?
I wouldn't use the word sacrifice. I would say prioritize.
Absolutely.
Okay. I prioritize education, your business, whatever ventures you want to go on before that.
It's on the list. We know.
It's prioritizing. I don't think it's a sacrifice.
So, like, for now that you guys have accomplished, do you think like is a baby a priority now? Or like the family's a priority now?
It's the focus now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a focus now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the next thing to pursue.
And so what's stopping you guys? Let's talk about the man. The lack of them. Which part them there? Where are the men's? Let's talk about that.
They're there apparently. They are out there.
Where?
But I think people's values are different.
Yeah, let's talk about why is it that, because single, beautiful, successful, educated Black women, I mean, you guys want the nuclear family and you need the man, right? You need a man to have that. So where are they and why?
If we knew, we could tell you, If we didn't know, but nah, they're here, they're out there. And like I said, everybody has their priorities just the way we do.
Yeah. So,
for a guy, it may be becoming their best self before getting a family and getting
men
into
are 40 still trying to become their best selves, okay? 50
and
still trying to become their best.
Like,
wait on me, I'm getting there.
But it boils down to timing. They may have their priorities as well. In timing, they may have wanted the child in their 20s, 30s, and they realize, no, I want to focus on my business now. And then you may have met them at the wrong time.
Right.
So the timing and it has to mesh for both people.
Right.
So I'm saying, so as Black women, like especially as we get, what is your compromise when it comes to Black men? Because I'm assuming you guys want the hashtag Black love, you want the Black family. That's what I know I want. Mm-hmm. And from talking to you guys, I know that's what you guys want. How long do you guys wait? I don't
have a timeline. In all honesty, I've never really given any thought to a timeline. I mean, there's a 4 in front of one of these ages, somewhere along the lines. By the time I hit 50, I'll probably just be the rich auntie that's just traveling and going all over, giving everybody $1 when I pull up to the family functions. But nonetheless, it's just when the timing is right and when I've met that person and we're both on the same page, that's when I'll know, all right, let's make the move. Because with everything else that I've accomplished in my life, I had an idea, I had a window, but I couldn't be specific because life happened. I mean, supposed to have my doctorate way before 30 and, I had to take breaks in the middle of school. It's got to be paid for. These student loans, that's a whole nother thing. So life happens, that I gave myself a window versus, all right, at 46, this is when I'm going to meet the man or whichever man. But everybody's different. Everybody does their thing the way they do it.
I don't know if I would say there is, compared to the quality of Black women out there, I'm not sure, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for this, but I'm not sure that the quality of Black men are there to meet our needs and our demand for that nuclear family.
It's slim pickings, I will say that.
I agree.
Slim.
Am I saying that there are not good black men out there? That's not what I'm saying. There are good black men out there, but one, they're probably taken,
right?
Already married and stuff. They're probably not ready, like G says. It's
some have been married.
Some have been married. They're traumatized,
right?
terrified,
done with it. You
don't
know?
want to go back there. Some of them already have kids. They don't want more.
That's what I'm saying. You have to find the person who's on the same page.
How, G? When? How? Where? Please
I don't have
tell
all
me.
the answers. Tell me. Yeah, it's the timing. You have to just find someone because 10 years ago. Oh, let me bring this up. Remember, we were going to talk about what age, like the age you're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see yourself doing? Are you living what you saw?
Oh man. I was supposed to have at least 2.
That's what I'm saying. Time, you have to alter your goals because you have to take breaks between schools. So the timeline got pushed down.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like as women, we have to be cognizant that we don't have unlimited time like men, right? So you're saying that it's timing. So you'll meet a man that's 35. And as a woman at 35 and a man at 35 for childbearing situation, it's not the same, right? So you cannot live your life and your desire for children on a man's time. Okay, you meet a man that's 35 and he's like, no, I'm not ready for kids. You know, like give me 2 to 3 years to get my life together. In 2 to 3 years when you're 38 and you literally have 10,000 eggs, if children is what you want, right? Mm-hmm. This is all in regards of a woman that has a desire to have a child. Right. When you're 38, this man is 38, and he can breed somebody up to the age of 60. And at 38, not only are you considered geriatric pregnancy at that point, you have less than 10,000 eggs for you to work with. And it's while you have women out here that are knocking out 5, 10 kids like that, getting pregnant is not as easy as people think it is. No. You have a tiny, tiny window with a tiny, tiny amount of eggs after a certain age to conceive. So I feel like when you're saying timing, I don't think a woman can sit down and match a man's timing, especially when you're in your 30s as a woman. If you're 25 and a man that's 25 says, babe, give me 5 years, I get that. If you're 35 and a man that's 35 says, babe, give me 5 years, you'd be a mad woman to sit down and wait.
That's when you're going to like walk away and say, okay, we're not jiving right now.
I mean, for the record, I am not opposed to switching gears and going to a younger age, if that's the case. If 35 and 35 ain't matching, let me all at 28 and see what's going on. Not to say, that all of them aren't up to par, because there are some young men who have their stuff together. You might know a few. You might know. Keep thinking on it.
Girl, I don't.
I'm just saying, there are some young men that literally, you look at them and say, wow, you're 28 and you done got a master's, you done have this, and they're ready. Mm-hmm. And so as women, if this is the goal you want, then hey, don't be afraid to get expended. Stop looking down this way like, all right, he's got to be like 40 something. Let me see what's going on with this 28, 29-year-old. I'm 34. I'm going to be 34 this year. And I'm like, hey, you know what? If my age and better ain't pulling, let's go back to
let's rewind.
Right. I mean, what's the boundary for robbing the cradle though? Just, I don't want to get arrested. I don't want a problem.
Since you know,
what?
Yeah.
Oh, so you know? Oh, okay.
Robber. Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about that. But anyways, we're gonna talk about Mel and her cradle robbing ways. But
listen,
but I personally feel like a 28-year-old man is like a 24-year-old man. So, girl, if you can deal with that, more power to you. Because I feel like men do not mature till they're like 35.
Look at the paperwork, sir. Yes. If you tell me, if you have your stuff together and you're ready, okay, your age says what? I have friends who they've married younger than them. And when I tell you, you look at them, you don't even know. You can't even tell. Like, I have to remind myself, like, yo, they're like 4 or 5 years apart. And she's older. Mm. Just the mentality and the maturity. So that's an option. That's an option. We don't have to box ourselves into my age and older.
So let's talk about having children being the marker of validation.
Ooh, man.
Child.
Listen, they don't get papers for that,
How were you celebrated with your PhD? What was the next question?
So
you were up here, you got a PhD, and then
how long did it take you to do your PhD, Mel?
It took me
5 years.
5 and a half.
5 years, right? It takes 9-10 months about to birth a child.
Right.
5 years for your
right.
PhD.
And listen, let me go on record and say, I don't knock either one. I don't put one higher than the other. But I will say, give honor to where honor is due. Like, for someone who just had a baby or for someone who just completed their goal, their PhD, give the congratulations where it's due, because everybody put in their effort. When I finished mine, I got family members, people, friends, they got on my comments, they called me. I had one uncle call me. And he talks really fast. He's from the country. He talks really fast. He said, so niece, wait, slow down, Unc. Congratulations. I heard you're a big doctor now. Okay, yes, thank you. So when you're gonna, Uncle, what? So when you're gonna have kids, so where the kids coming?
And I think
immediately plummeted. I was just like,
you don't get a chance to enjoy and just look back and admire yourself and your determination for completing this milestone.
Right.
Someone just brings you back down and reminds you, hey, you don't have a kid, so...
And I know they don't mean it intentionally, but it's like, hey, I don't know what my next steps are. Hell, I just finished. The ink's not even dry on the diploma. Mm-hmm. Let me get to the next, just, let's bask in the present. But, hey, this is what happens.
I cried so many times when I was in my master's. Yeah, I know you know. Cause
I did too.
we did a master's program like a year apart. And there's like tears. I was at work at my job until 10 o'clock at night doing assignment. I got 1 C and I almost died because you can only get 2 C's in a master's program. And I thought I was going to die. Like I cried tears. So for me, it's go back to your original question of feeling validation simply by having children. It's like no matter what you've accomplished as a woman, it's like if you don't have kids, are you even a woman? Like where your breast and pum pum
my gosh.
No matter, like I feel like I have such a full life, like I'm very comfortable. Like I own a home, which a lot of people don't, man, woman, or children. Like a lot of people don't. A lot of people haven't traveled, have never left the States, don't have multiple degrees. I have friends and family. I'm loved and I'm happy and I'm comfortable. But then I'm not a woman. I don't have a child.
You haven't made it just quite yet.
Exactly. I'm not as accomplished.
Right.
I'm not there. I'm not at the top because I don't have a child to go along with everything
add to
else.
it.
And it's funny because I could have been like a bum ass bitch. I could have been out here with nothing
in these streets.
If I have a child,
right?
Like nobody would be like, "Sheena, you're not going to buy a house."
No,
right?
No.
Imagine if I have a kid. Nobody's gonna be like, "Sheena, you're not going to go back to school."
So it continues.
Right.
It's got to be something. There's always something missing.
So once you get to that goal here, there's going to be someone else asking you, okay, so when are you going to do this?
But I don't think so, G. I think if I had a child, right, and I don't own a house and I was renting an apartment, I don't think anybody would say, you have your pitney now or whatever, why you don't go buy a house? That's what I'm saying. I don't think it would be the opposite. If I had a child, I don't think anybody would be like, Sheena, are you going to go get your PhD?
So being accomplished now, when you have that baby, the next thing they're going to say, okay, so when are you going to have the next one?
Right.
No,
but
man,
it's always the baby.
Asking you for more.
But it's always children. It's never anything else.
Right.
You have 5 pitney and you're renting somewhere. Nobody's going to ask you, when are you going to go buy a house for these kids, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to say, yo, I guess I better job. Go open a business so you can take care of these 5 children.
It seemed to be the marker.
Yeah, that is so no matter how accomplished you are as a woman, it goes back to having the child. Because if you have the child, nobody cares about anything else almost.
I'm not going to lie. Full transparency. Sometimes I wonder, like, when people put that value on, okay, you have a baby, so now that makes you a real woman. And I'm just like, so am I not a woman? And not to say that I don't know I'm a female. Like, all the organs are there. I know mentally, all that stuff. But it sometimes questions your own validity for yourself. And it's like, you really got to rein it in sometimes because it's everywhere. It's family. You open your phone, boom, social media. First 10 posts are of like people and their new kid. And it's just like, wait. This can't be life. This can't be real. So
and you're missing out on life.
No.
You feel like, am I missing out? Like,
Is
it me?
Am I lacking?
It's me, Lord? No, it's just that this isn't your season for that.
Yeah.
And you set out goals, so continue to pursue them. And don't let other people's goals and what they feel is valuable determine your validity. So it's a constant reminder.
What about let's talk about friends when they have their kids.
Don't be that friend. That friend in the corner.
What do you think, G?
You're happy for them. You're excited.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, you're like, when is this going to happen to me? When is it going to be my turn? So
Like, what do you, like, mentally do? Like, how do you wrestle with that? Like, you know, like, you're in that space, your friend having a newborn, and it's their life, right? This is like, and I've never seen a woman that have a newborn child, and it doesn't automatically becomes their life. Like, nothing else matters as a child. And, you know, obviously your friendship dynamic changes, you know, because now they have a different priority. Like, how do you, like, deal with that, like, mentally?
Does that make
like
you jealous?
What's your headspace?
No, I haven't really seen the dynamic change. To me, it's just a wanting of, okay, I want to experience this. I want to host a baby shower. I want to do a gender reveal. I want to do this. So
please, no gender reveal.
Yeah, gender reveal.
I hate gender reveal.
That sounds like work.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
That sounds like work.
But yeah, I want all of that work.
You want the gender reveal?
Basically, I just said to myself, okay, when is this gonna happen? So it's just like a wanting for me.
In the spirit of wanting that, it's like you don't take away from your friend shine at all.
No, absolutely not.
You still have to honor and value yourself because you still are a part of this equation. Like,
you're still excited for them. You're still doing all of this and decorating, but in the back of your head, you're like, I want to decorate for me. Like,
Yeah. You know, I want a little version of me running around. And
so it's just more so you're happy for your friend's experience, but you just want that too.
Right.
You know, not to take away anything from what they're experiencing. Right. But yeah, I feel like in the last year I had 4 friends that
that's a lot.
Like boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
Like not 1, not 2, like 4 of my really close friends had babies. And I think there are moments where I was like, yeah, to your point, I was like, wow, what would this feel like? This, you know, this and they all did such an amazing job. Like they were all such beautiful pregnant women, and they just all their babies are adorable. And I'm not just saying that because they're my friends. Their kids
So you just got 4 more god kids is what I just heard.
Pretty much.
Oh, have fun Christmas time.
Pretty much. So yeah, I think it's just finding that balance of being supportive, while knowing that it's something that you want for yourself, and especially if you have really great friends who know, you know, and they can kind of they're not out there like throwing it in your face, like. And
don't be afraid to set boundaries with your friends, because I mean, if you don't check in with yourself and realize like this is like taking at you and really eating at you, it's not their fault. They're trying to celebrate. They're trying to do that. That's them. And that would be you if anything else was going on. But at the same time, if you don't set that boundary, what happens is it comes off like you're being completely dismissive of their celebration. And it's not the case at all. You're just trying to make sure you do some level of self-preservation because, okay, you've spent hours talking to this person about, you know, and maybe you don't want to do that. You can't do that. But then now you're snapping on whoever's at work and you're not focusing and you're trying to figure out, well, where the hell did that come from? Right. Well,
they get in your head sometimes.
Right.
It's a common. Yep.
So definitely like, hey, listen, can we talk about something else? Like, hey, you know, who won the Super Bowl? Let's talk about something else.
You don't want to hear that the baby's a pea today?
Listen.
Is a seed?
I'm all for it. Is it alive?
No, I don't mind. I think it's cute.
You don't want to hear that the baby.
Let me know when he kicks.
Okay.
Call me when he spins around. Don't call me at 4 a.m. when you can't sleep because I'm asleep. Sorry.
Okay, so we don't like the question, when are you gonna have a baby?
Okay.
So, what's a good question to ask?
None. A good question to ask about a woman when it comes to what she's gonna do about reproduction or possibly having it's none. It's not your business. Unless you're a really, 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 really close friend and it's conversations that you guys have had one-on-one, personally intimate, nobody should be asking.
So in an ideal world, everyone would mind their own business.
Which they don't.
But they don't. Yeah. So how would you rather be approached?
I would rather be approached about my goals. Like, so, okay, if you're going to ask me what's next, like, so ask me how I'm feeling right now. And let me come with that information, you know? Because people don't give people a chance to kind of forward that information for us. Yeah. So, you know, if you're going to ask me, don't limit it to just about my uterus and what's going on in there. Because hell, half the time, I don't even know. But at the same time, that's not the only thing on my focus. Like, okay, maybe I'm trying to start a business. Maybe I'm trying to go, you know, take a year off and see the world. If you want to know, I'm down to tell you. But don't just put me in a box of, so we ready to have kids now?
Yeah.
But if that's not, now I feel like, damn, if I say no, or if I say, no, I'm not ready to have kids, now I'm getting looked at some type of way.
Yeah.
And that's not a good feeling at all.
What do you think are some questions?
Well, I would say maybe if they had to be invasive, they could say, So what's your next move? Or what do you have planned for the future? Or what's your 2-year plan? What do you have planned next? Or how do you feel if they come right out and say, "Hey, do you want children? Are children in your future?"
That's nobody's business. I don't feel like that question should be asked.
But they're gonna ask it.
In regards to that too, right? Let's talk about the women that don't want kids.
Yeah,
right?
the rich auntie vibes.
And the rich auntie vibes, which somebody said I have that vibe.
You get $1, you get $1, you get $1, you get $1.
Somebody said I have rich auntie vibes, and I like it. I'll take it. But yeah. What about the women that have chosen
out there who don't want
on purpose? They don't want children.
I admire Tracee Ellis Ross to the fullest. She made it clear that's not her lane. Mm-hmm. That's not her life. Mm-hmm. And she's living her best life. And she look good. She look good. Because she don't have nobody that stressed her out. No baby. And her body is on point because she didn't have to push out a 9-pound kid out of it.
So how do you think they deal with that question? Because, of course, they get asked that question. So they're probably just focused on their business.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same. I feel like whether you're a celebrity woman or a non-celebrity woman, I feel like it's the same thing as a woman, Like, that's the common thing that we have is that women, that everybody believes that women should be, procreating, right. That we should be out here breeding.
I feel like if you chose that and we chose that avenue to just not have kids, then stand in that truth. Facts. Like, it starts with your own self-work. If you know that's what you want, if there's an ounce of insecurity about it, anybody could come and sneeze next to you and you'll just be like, so why you worry about my uterus? Wait, whoa. Yeah. Are you even good with the decision you made?
Right.
Check with self first.
You have to own it.
Right.
You have to be like, I saw this article recently where it said that, like the birth rate has gone down by how many, which is crazy to me because I feel like everybody was breeding during Corona.
Right.
I feel like everybody had a baby over the last year and a half, so I don't know how. But, when I went through the comments and people are basically saying that having a kid is expensive. Mm-hmm. Like student loan debt is through the roof, right. Like inflation, like cost of living, like a child is very, very, very expensive. So if somebody's, and then, the world is messed up. Like we live in a very messed up world. So if somebody chooses not to bring a child into this world and that's their decision and they stand
okay. That's their decision.
Listen, that's okay too.
Not raise an eyebrow.
That's okay too.
What if you've decided to put off having children until after you accomplished all your personal goals, career goals, whatever business goals you have, and whether you're still working on it or you've reached the end, if that's your truth and you put it off to the end, how do y'all feel about answering that question?
I mean, that's a personal choice, and you've already come to terms with the associated risks of waiting.
Right.
So that's something that I've,
you've come to terms with.
And,
honestly, I will say, though, with modern technology, granted, normal women don't have the resources and the finances of a Janet Jackson, I think, who had her kid at 50, right? Mm-hmm. Or Kenya Moore, who had her kid at 48. Mm-hmm. But with everything, you can freeze your eggs. You have options. You have a lot more options than you did 10 or 20 years ago. But I think for regular folk that don't have those financial resources, looking to have a kid in your 40s, that's personally another thing that I.
So my stimulus check not going.
I can't help you, boo.
I can't use that for.
That's stimmy. No, that's stimmy not going to help you. That's stimmy not going to do much.
Gotta change plans. I'm sorry. What?
Stimmy not going to do much. So. But yeah, so I'm not saying there isn't ways around it. Listen, my mom had a kid at 43. It wasn't her first though. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if this is your first child, I wouldn't wait till your 40s to do it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it can't happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I say if you want the child and you're comfortable, you're accomplished, and I wish good men on you guys. I wish you guys can.
Likewise.
Please wish them on me too. Mm-hmm. I wish great men on you guys, and that can happen. That's it.
So basically, people just need to be mindful of asking that question. And
people just don't need to ask the question.
They just need to mind their business.
Mind their business.
Yeah.
Mind the business that
because they don't know what's going on. You can either choose not to want to have kids, or you have plans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you elect to ask a question, try to be mindful. Don't just blurt it out. Where am I? Am I in a space to do that? Are we around people? Mm-hmm. Like, be careful and know people's business.
Do you know me like that? No. If you don't.
if you're asking me why I'm waiting on having kids and you don't know that I've had about 7 miscarriages and, you know, my fertility is very low. Hell, my man's sperm is trash. Like, you don't know what's going on. So careful when you're asking that question. Is it necessary right now? Just ease back.
So I'm gonna mind my black owned business, and I suggest you do the same, and, you know, stay out of my womb. And yeah, it's my advice.
Well, I think we're all done here. Thank you for allowing us to
Thanks,
do
Marlon.
this fly through takeover. Thank you, Marlon.
Yeah.